So I was arrested for aggravated assault. You were correct, but I was framed. I was arrested by a police officer named April Chandler.
Okay, I'm very familiar with her, right?
I've never met her before, but I was doing land work with a coworker. We got more or less an argument, and he told my identity and pretty much tried to falsify documents in my name. And so when I confronted him, he pulled a gun on me, so I left. And the next thing I know, I'm being arrested by April Chandler and Detective Williams.
Williams, is that it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm not familiar with that.
Well, he's from Hobbs.
Really?
Because I've been to your Facebook. I don't want to freak you out or anything, but
No. I mean, many people. I've had 2 million views on videos. You know, I mean, I just let you talk about April Chandler. You know my story about her, right?
well, I hired a private PI, and he did a background check on her, and he found paperwork on her that shows that she's receiving large amounts of money.
Well, that makes lots of sense, you know, because I mean, I felt like she's on the tape.
But a local cop doesn't get some of the payment of like $50,000 at a time.
Right. Well, I mean, there's something big going down here with the, you know, I've always suspected human trafficking. I've had multiple people tell me there's an underground facility near this home. I believe it's connected to the death of the last homeowner, Mike Lawhon. He died 2 weeks before I moved into this home. And then, like I said, I have absolute proof, without a doubt, April Chandler lied on the police reports.
I think there's one under the North Walmart, too. And that's where I was doing Landman work there. And the minute I started trying to lease that out for drilling, for royalties, that's when all this stuff happened to me. I was told to stay away from it, and I didn't.
Interesting. 2 weeks before I was shot, okay, I was shot on January 28, 2012, okay? On January,
I think you're very strong for what you've been through, what you're doing right now.
Well, you know, I give God all the praise and glory. He's my strength, but 2 weeks...
Yes, amen.
2 weeks before I was shot, which is January 14th, and to keep this in perspective, my first call for somebody breaking my house was 14 months before, you know, I was shot. And so these crimes had gone on for 14 months, but 2 weeks before I was shot, I noticed somebody was trying to come into my bedroom, and I was concerned because I had actually just tear gassed my attic, okay, and I got them good. You know, I heard them coughing and everything. And then so I was worried about retribution, and then I noticed somebody's trying to come in my bedroom door inside my home, and I locked the door, bolted it shut, and I put electricity on the door. Now, I used to be an electrician, okay, and I'm here in this room, and what I was worried about is they were going to kick the door in and kill me, because I believe that's what happened to the last homeowner, okay, because I found the door kicked in or whatever. That's another story, but either way, I stripped the hot wire and I wrapped it around the door handle on the door to build a safe room to protect myself, you know. And this isn't a what if could be. There was people in my house trying to come inside my home, trying to come in my bedroom, okay. And so they didn't get in, of course. They wasn't quiet that night or whatever. And 2 weeks later, my phone lines are cut and I'm shocked, okay. And you know, it's obviously premeditated, and then the secret police get caught on camera and all that. Well,
I forgot to think that was kind of against a survivor like you, though, sir.
Well, like I said, God gets all the praise. It was a miracle. These are smart people who had it planned out, you know, and it's a miracle I'm alive. But but then I got to thinking after I'm out of the hospital about that night on January 14th. So I went searching the obituaries. And I found where this Landman attorney died on the same day, on January 14th, and his name was Matt Hyman, okay?
No, that's the obituary?
In the Midland obituaries.
Okay.
Okay, and so his name is Matt Hyman, well known here because he was a landman turned attorney. He worked for Choate or whatever, you know?
I knew him.
Okay, you knew him. And so and, no, he was 33 years old, and he died. And that's all I knew is he died on the same day.
We suspected he was doing fraudulent stuff as well.
Okay, let me finish this story. So I posted on my Facebook where he was, where I asked the question if he died in my house. Okay, well, his sister-in-law, former sister-in-law, was my nurse. Okay, and she's on my Facebook. And so she's like, oh, no, it wasn't him, etc., or whatever. Well, I started asking her questions trying to eliminate him, because, like, if he died in a car wreck, I knew it wasn't him, or whatever, right? And so I'm like, how did he die? And she says, oh, he had a heart failure, nobody knew about it. Well, that's what electricity will do to you, right? It causes heart failure.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, and then I'm thinking, well, what time did he die? Because if he died that morning, it wasn't him, And then so I asked her what time he died. Oh, he died that evening. He was sitting at home with his wife, just him and his wife, and he died. And that was the exact same time it happened. And so,
Daytime or nighttime?
at nighttime, on the evening of January 14th. And so, all it did was further, confirm what I suspected. And so I posted this whole story out there on Facebook, and then two of his friends threatened me. And both of them are Landman, okay?
Well, I have access to seismic charts and stuff, and I looked at that North Walmart, and there is what it looks to be like a facility on the back side of towards the Kingswick side. And it looks like it goes back towards those apartments, but that field right there behind the Kingswick, that's where it ends.
Okay.
And so when I was doing all this, I questioned this, and then all of a sudden I started having trouble.
Interesting.
But if there's a facility there and there's one at Home Depot, they could be connected.
And, well, even, you remember when they shut down the Walmarts, right?
Yes, sir. That's whenever I really started having problems.
Yeah, they shut down 5 Walmarts across the nation. That was one. Well, I had reported a tunnel, and I live a half mile away here behind the Home Depot,
Well, I approached Mayor Morales about this. Because I was receiving strange phone calls and not death threats, but just telling me that I needed to back off. And so when I questioned that, because I wouldn't get anywhere in the city, I just had all types of hell to pay.
Oh, let me finish that story. The two of his friends threatened me, Matt Hyman's friends. One of them, both of them are Landman. One of them is Brian Hillman.
I know Mr. Hillman.
Okay.
You know his brother, John.
Yeah, and he married the widow. Okay, he married Matt Hyman's widow or whatever. And
I thought they had been screwing around before.
And he was very, very rude, and then threatened to sue me, etc. And then his buddy or another one was named Chris Mertz, and Chris worked for my company, DCP.